Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Coconut Wireless with Mel and Charlie. Today's Thursday, January 22nd. What's up, Uncle Charlie?
Hey, aloha no. Good evening, brother Mel. Good evening, good evening.
It is Thursday, bro. It is Thursday. We made it on Thursday.
Yep, yep.
What's up, Patty Kawakami? Man, loyal to the bone. Loyal.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam.
Oh,
Aloha.
how about that?
Chilly villagers. Is it cold where you at, bro? It's kind of nippy over here in Wailua. My gosh.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what,
Yep.
in the 60s over there?
Well, in Waimea, it's comfortable, but it looks like it's gonna dip tonight
Nice.
because there's some breeze coming down from the Mauka side down the canyon. So you know what that means.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yep.
Oh, my lovely wife. Hi, handsome. Again, I don't know. I think she's talking to you, Charles. But yesterday was her birthday.
Happy
So
birthday,
yes,
Patty.
yes. Happy birthday, happy birthday. It's we never even go out for dinner on her birthday. I owe her a massive dinner. Probably up at Timbers. We like Timbers. Timbers is beautiful. It's quiet. The view is outstanding.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yesterday was a hectic day. I had to go to Honolulu for the opening of the legislature. That was something. It
How
always
was it?
is. It
How
was
was it?
it was it never it's always so amazing how many people actually go to those things. Members of the general public that actually go to watch that stuff. Aloha, Joanne, all the way from the Big Island.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us tonight, and also Jane Ozaki, our good friend Jane. Yeah, it was. The way it's set up is you show up and you get to do your rounds and go meet up. I got to meet up with a lot of our legislators and talk story, and but there's thousands of others that are trying to get in front of these people, and then at 10 o'clock they have the official opening at the Senate side and the House. So you got to choose. You got to choose what side you want to go because they do it at the same time. So myself, council members, Cavallo, Cowden, and Holland went, and so they all went to the Senate side. I went to the House side, and it was every other year because the state operates on a biannual budget, so they do a 2-year budget. So this is the second year of the budget cycle. So it's not as festive as the last year's opening. So there's no real. It's just a bunch of speeches and all of that, and it's typically the same thing. All of the same. It's like it doesn't change year to year. What's up, Clayton?
Yep.
And again, the focus was on the not the focus. I shouldn't say that. A big topic was the $35,000 bribe that everybody's talking about. Susan, good evening, Susan Herrera. So like I said, I went to the House side, and but both sides, from what I understand, was they did talk about it, and that the state has now decided to initiate an investigation into that. It's a little late, I think.
Well, like they say
Alberta,
publicly,
all the way from Palolo Valley. Haole makahiki ho.
like they say about your investigations, right, that it should be you have a window of opportunity to get all your facts right. But when that window of opportunity slips, then everything beyond that is just a basic conjecture or it's made up, and that's what you have to be careful.
Well, I tell
And
you
and
what, Charlie, they've been asking, the public has been asking, a lot of organizations have been asking, and the Attorney General basically said, and the governor and the Senate president and the Speaker, House Speaker, said that they were not going to investigate because they were afraid that it would interfere with the federal investigation.
right.
What's up, Junior? Junior Kekueva. And also Julie DeCosta, Kajiwara. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. But anyway, it was the pressure from the community that I believe forced the attorney general and the governor to basically concede and said, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and look into it," which they should. So we'll see where this thing goes, though. Everybody wants to know who that person is, if that person even exists. But that story has taken a life of its own, and we'll see how now the investigation goes and what happens. The question is it a sitting legislator? Is it a former legislator? It's kind of interesting, man. And you know how investigations go, Charlie. That investigations can take many different paths. So we'll see. We shall see.
If I had to do a link up to this whole thing, one could say that I did hear the reason why the state didn't get involved, because it was going down a federal route, and so the state did not want to interfere. And then they said, now with just the amount of pressure coming on, that now they're going to look into it. So in and of itself kind of lays a question as to the integrity of the governor's office as well as the attorney general's office. And that's the sad thing about it. I mean, you can spin it any way you want. And like you said, if it's a present or former, it would behoove anyone that if it's a former, then time slip. So now you got to look at the time frame. If it's a former, was that former in the office when the alleged violation supposedly occurred, right?
Yeah.
So that's when you got to look at it. It's crazy.
Mike, the first question that came to my mind when they made the announcement that the state was going to conduct the investigation was, what changed between last week or last month, where a state's investigation would interfere with a federal investigation, to a point now where it doesn't interfere with the federal investigation, right? Was the state just using that as an excuse to not do the investigation? That is the question. And Charlie, you was in a police department a long time. I was in the department a long time. I was an investigator. And never once were we ever told, hey, we cannot investigate this case because the feds are investigating it. It's two separate jurisdictions looking at two separate different sets of laws. So I always question that, but we'll see. We'll see where this thing goes. Hey, Junior, mahalo, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support, your Ohana support. Appreciate your posts on Facebook. And yeah, man, mahalo. Yeah, it's going to be ramping up, buddy. February is right around the corner. The nomination papers, or the application, if you will be out on February. And I will be filing on February 9th. You folks heard it first, right here on the Coconut Wireless. It's getting exciting, Charles. It's getting exciting, man.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be an exciting campaign. And just for your information, next week, Monday, at 3:30 on KKCR Radio is the first candidate forum of the season. Interesting that they're doing it in January when the filing, hasn't even started yet. But it'll be the first. It's I have it. They told me it's going to go from 3:30 p.m. till 6 p.m. Both Bernard and myself will be in the studio, and we will have a candidate forum debate. I'm not sure what the format would be. They haven't told us, but we don't know what the questions will be. But that'll be a good opportunity for those of you that are on the fence, or even those of you that have, are thinking about one candidate over the other. It'll be a good opportunity to listen to the two candidates and be educated and informed of our platforms and all of that. So I'm looking forward to that. Monday, 3:30, KKCR Radio. It'll be fun.
Well, I think everyone should, if they have questions, anyone who's a candidate, it's always good to have it, on an open forum where, if you're allowed to ask questions. But, some of the questions, and I shouldn't be critical about this, but, people have different approaches to what kind of answers you want to see how the candidates are going to answer. So some of the questions may be so far out there, but to some that may seem far out, to those who may seem right on point. So that's why it's always a good thing just to listen in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Charlie, you've been in the law enforcement security business for a long time. So, if I told you, hey, Charlie, next week I'm gonna have one forum. I want you to sit on a panel. We're gonna be talking about security tactics. We're gonna be talking about security strategies. You wouldn't have any stress. You wouldn't have any anxiety because you are familiar with the topic. So, I don't get nervous for these things. This is my 18th year on the county council, and I've served through many mayors. So I have my ideas for what I think should be done, and there's no stress on my part. They're going to ask a question, I'm going to answer to the best of my ability. And the nice thing about KKCR, and I'm hoping that they're going to open up the phone line so people can call and ask questions, because that's what's most important. Is what do the people want to know? What do the people want to hear? What questions do they have? What concerns do they have? Are they happy with the situations we're in today, or do they want to see change? So I am actually looking forward to it, and I hope you guys all tune in. I'm hoping that they'll give me a copy of the audio, or possibly, I'm not sure if they're going to videotape it or they're going to stream it live on Hoiki. I don't know, but I definitely want to share that with all of you. Keith, Honorable Mayor, wow. And Uncle Charlie, council member.
Hey, no, let's start vicious rumors now.
Raylene, how are you? Well, another loyal follower. Awesome stuff. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Monday, it'll be the first one of the season, and then I think there'll be many more that follow. I hope so, anyway. I hope so. Pops, happy birthday to Patsy. Aloha to all the people near and far, and people of Cornell. Please support my son Mel. I'll be there holding signs. Yes,
yeah. That's a good follow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I tell you, man. Oh man, I love my dad. I miss my mom. And that's what's important, man. It's my dad, after my stepmom passed away, moved to Kauai with the intention of staying here. And, after about a year, realized that he simply cannot afford to live here. A guy that was born and raised here on Kauai, lived here for many, many, many years, decades. And it just couldn't afford to stay, man. That's my why. That's my drive. What's up, Bill? What's up, my man? God, I love this. I love the coconut wireless, Charlie. I love the coconut wireless. And hey, please, you guys got questions, comments, whatever you want, throw it in the chat. We want to make this show be about you, and we want to be able to talk story with you all as well.
Well, I got a question for our viewers tonight, if they wanted to chime in on it. But something that really hit close to home, and that was the shortage of limo. Most of our noted markets in Hawaii, Tamashiro Market,
Tanioka's
Marketplace,
yeah,
all those different areas, they were, there's a lot of varieties, but then you got many people, and not only locals, but our visitors that just like good old Hawaiian raw fish with limo. Period. Nothing fancy, no shoyu, no sesame oil, just straight Hawaiian salt and limo. And because it was out of stock there, I swear some people thought the world was coming to an end.
I saw that on the news this morning, and I was like, and the guy said, yeah, we like use local limo. Well, first of all, Kauai get the best limo in the state, I think, man. And yeah. I was just thinking of all the guys, the local limo gatherers on Kauai, thinking, bruh, I would be calling this guy up and say, hey, you like it's gold. Limo is gold. Inamona, all of these things that's how we used to eat poke before, right, Charlie? Never had all these fat. What? I mean, trust me, I love spicy ahi poke. I love that orange with the fish egg inside. But but
Sriracha.
yeah, I don't know what they make them with, but it's that orange. But it's so
And they get
so
the
delicious. Yeah, yeah.
that
But
crunchy.
Charlie, growing up had limo kohu poke, had soyu poke too. But the like you said, man, was salt, Hawaiian salt, limo kohu, inamona, and the fish. And that's kind of how
So
it was.
there's two different types now. The limo kohu, which is you use very little, that goes a long way. But had that strong iodine flavor. That's strong.
Yeah, you can taste them.
So, yeah. So you get that, and then you have your regular limo, the crunchy limo. Some people call it an invasive species because it takes over a lot of the reefs. But I think those who tried their hand in harvesting, um, I don't know if it's on purpose, but sometimes by accident, they destroy the coral,
Yeah,
and but that's a sad thing about it. But I think all the markets in town made a concerted effort to not push the envelope because they had to do with something was happening in the farms. They said they had to rebuild, so that means that something wasn't going right, and they were giving the marketplace a chance to rebuild and make it right. So that I appreciate, and so the thing is they kept everybody informed,
yeah, yeah,
and they were doing
yeah,
accounting, and I appreciate that.
yeah. Because the last thing you would like is to have this mad rush to the reef, with everybody
Yeah,
stomping the car, like you just said. Yeah,
yeah.
so I appreciate those guys. Yes, Julie, opihi. Oh my God. Also, Kauai get the best opihi.
Well,
Right, Keith?
I
Yes, Kauai limo is the best. Absolutely.
growing up and coming to Kauai every weekend with my father during the days when at Club Jetty, and they was moving to start expansion out in Princeville, right? My dad, because he was in a construction, he was a tile setter. He would come up every week, and on the weekends I would come up, and that's how I met my good brother Kaupena Kinimaka.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up living with him and Percy, spending my entire weekends, summers, for I don't know how many years. All the way until I promised him after I graduated from high school I was going to come and live on Kauai, but I went to Maui instead.
When,
And
when you
then when I
lived
did,
when you lived with them here on Kauai,
on either Ikahi or Ilua Street, and I
Ilua,
also lived, yeah,
Ilua, right across me, Charlie. I lived right across from Kapena, and
yeah,
Percy, and Michael, and Moana.
yep,
Wow. So you were there when I was there.
had to be.
I'm telling you. I mean, that's the only place I lived.
So we would, yeah,
Right across the street, man.
in the morning, everything back then was a 10-speed Schwinn bike.
Yeah,
We would
yeah,
ride down the hill.
yeah.
We would meet up with Irv Vock and John Durant and Kelly Hines and Dookie. That was
Bruh,
a Kapaki gang. Yeah,
bruh. I must have ran into you back then at some point.
I
Me and
was
me and Michael was
18.
was very good friends, and Capena was older, of course. But yeah, we spent a lot of our time at their house right across the street, man. That is crazy.
Well,
What's up,
and
Tyson? How you, bro?
hey, brother Tyson, and good picture of you and Chad was on the news. I guess they were appointed by the lieutenant governor.
Oh, Tyson.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
both
yeah,
of
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Whenever I see Tyson at the Capitol, I didn't get to see him. I knew he was there because we had texted, but I never got a chance to see him. But when I know that he's at the Capitol, I worry.
Well, the two were styling with the ILW shirt. I mean, they
Yeah, oh
were
yeah,
styling.
yeah. I saw
Um,
most of the others. I just never got a chance to see Tyson. I don't know where he was
back
hiding.
in the day when I was with the Teamsters and we would go to the Capitol, it was duct tape with the word Teamsters would write on with black marsh pen on the back of my shirt. That's how it was back then. Art Rutledge just told us, hey, go down there, make your presence known.
Well, that place was flooded with union members. Megan said today she made fresh ahi with limo kohu from Moloa and pa'akai from Hanapepe. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Megan, that is poke. That is poke.
No, why did she have to say that for now?
Look,
Because
yeah,
it's June
she tell no
yet.
tell, she tell no tell. Too late, too late. The millions of people. By the way, Megan, I did share what is going on here with a few of our state senators and representatives asking for their assistance with your issue. So I cannot get nowhere else with our do care and everyone else. So I'm asking for their help, Megan. I am anyway. But yeah, that to me is poke. That is, I mean, you can have all this fancy other stuff putting, but poke is fish, salt, limo, inomone if you got them. Bill,
You know,
wow, I thought that
you,
stuff grow wild in our oceans. Been out there, islands too long. Grew up in Laie. Wow. Where you at,
so
Bill? Where you at now? Where are you at right now? Sam is on Iono Street. I know that because I've been to his house.
yeah.
I've been to his house. Um,
So when you talk about light year, you know when you right off, I think right off of PCC, you get that flat rock out there or whatever that kind of like looks like an arching area where people usually walk out to that point, right? In that area, like here. When and it's very few times you can see the water calm, but other than that, when you see it calm, you see a lot of local guys, and when you see brother walking off the bus with his hobbies already on, you know what he's going.
yeah,
You know what he's
yeah.
going to do. Yeah.
Oh, Lehi, Utah. Nice,
Wow.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
love Utah, man. I've been there a couple of times. My first time at a council conference back in, that would have been 2003, was Salt Lake City, Utah. Myself and Dane Kane from Maui. He was the council chair in Maui at the time. And actually, Dane was from Kauai. Went to high
Mhm.
school on Kauai. I knew him from high school. We went to the same high school, and then he ended up moving off to Maui and became a council member. Became the council chair. But it was just he and I, and you know he. That's where my learning started with Dane. He's an amazing man, and but yeah, it was a great experience to be in Utah in Salt Lake City. Really loved it. Really loved it. Tyson said he's on Elm Street. Bob's Hawaiian Restaurant. Bob's Hawaiian Restaurant up in Washington State. There's so many Hawaiian restaurants all over, even in Texas. It's not even real Hawaiian food, but everybody's stealing the Hawaiian food trend. And there's a lot of legitimate ones. I mean, there's in Oregon and Washington, and our good friend Peter Buza from Kauai. I don't know if you remember Peter Buza. He was in the Air Guard with me, and he moved to Washington, and he opened up. I think it's called the Kauai Restaurant, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Dad? Peter Buza's restaurant. I think it's the Kauai
This
Restaurant.
is Mary, yeah? Mary Boozer sings. Yep. She
Yes,
moved up.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes,
She was
yes, yes.
principal out at St. Teresa's out there.
Oh, Sam taking us down the memory lane again. Had the Hall Cane trailers to climb on as kids. Yes, yes, Sam. Yep. I didn't want to monopolize your show about the ongoing issues, so I sent you a message. Okay, I'll check the message. Mahalo for continuing to push and investigate why dealer. All right, Megan, I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. Yeah, I am at a loss. Ivan, what's up, brother Ivan? Dane Connie, yeah, I think you guys maybe around the same age, I think. Yeah, he was a great swimmer in high school. I always joke with him because, he wanted me to join the swim team, and I used to love to swim. I love to swim. We spent a lot of time in the water, and then so I signed up for join the swim team, and then I found out that you had to wear the ball huggers, the speedos, and there were no exceptions, and that was the end of my swimming career at Core High School. I said I am not
I
wearing.
was on a Kamehameha swim team until I found out that I couldn't use my water wings. So
I was not going to use those men panties to go swim. Sorry, I just not.
and when the water is full, you built-in skates, right?
Come out there next month. We can grab something to meet. Bill, let us know. Uncle Charlie and myself
Yep.
will be happy to join you, man. Seriously, get some good places. Get some good places. We head out to the west side and maybe go eat at Uncle's or yeah, we'll definitely, man. Definitely. Kauai Family Restaurant. That's the one, Daddy. Kauai Family Restaurant. Awesome. Peter Buza, good friend. Yeah, he get the old Lawai restaurant menu. The chicken, all of that stuff came from Lawai restaurant. That's now in Washington. Good stuff. Good stuff.
And then of course, Mary Boyd.
Dane worded well. Dane wordles things well. Yeah, Dane was a stud, man. He was a stud muffin back then. He still is. That guy's handsome son of a gun.
You know, I brought one of my first cars when I moved to Maui. Funding, Leal Motors, of Wailuku at the time.
Oh, he was selling cars?
Yeah. Oh, he was like the finance guy or whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Very educated. He was a school teacher. This guy is a very intelligent, educated man.
His cousin was that main actor. Remember that movie they filmed in Hawaii called Hurricane?
No.
It was about that big storm and had one his Hawaiian kid on there. Last name was Connie. I guess somewhat related to Dane. And we would talk about that, but they all were in one. In fact, I met some of his family who still reside in Waimanalo as well, Connie family. So I got to go and meet them. Oh, frozen. Are you frozen there, Mel?
No, you're going, man. You're good. You're good. Grape smugglers. I like that, Keith. I like that. I gotta say this.
They call that Smuckers.
I gotta say, Dane taught me so much, man. And you know, Dane's heart was really for the people. Was really for the people, and that's what he kept pounding in my skull, because I was brand new, and he said, you know, Mel, don't ever forget what your job is as a council member is to represent the people, speak for the people, and not for special interests. I'll never forget that, and I'll forever appreciate and love that guy. Yeah, he's just a good man, just an amazing man. He was a great from Maui. Yeah, absolutely, man. The guy is just a good guy, just a good guy, good mentor, and yeah, very good mentor. All right, what's next? What's next on the agenda, Councilmember Charlie?
Well, you know, given the climate right now throughout our nation, you know, we're gonna have to hunker down and we gotta start, you know, stashing away. I think, you know, goods coming into the islands are kind of trickling in. They're not coming in like they used to, I notice. I'm just watching the shelves at some of our stores here locally. I know there have been some backups with shipping, and I know that Honolulu Harbor is kind of, again, is working out its bugs, but again, that's just a drop-off point coming into the islands, right? So the destinations that they're coming from, some of the busiest ports like Long Beach, Seattle, those kind of areas, supplies are not coming like they used to. And you know, even taking a look at produce, I'm surprised. You know, I don't know if you've been to Costco lately. You know how they normally just go gung ho on the produce, right? So take a look at it now.
We just went on Sunday. You know, we typically don't go to Costco because it's just me and Patsy here, and we were like two kids in a candy store. I gotta be honest. We hadn't been there for a long time, and you know, it's so Patsy went into the produce because it's too cold, man. That is like it's too cold. So I just cruised around on the outside, and she went inside. But yeah, I she didn't mention anything about any shortages. But I know we were met with Matson, the former Matson Kauai district manager, Patrick Ono, last week, and
Oh, you saw him?
he came to Kauai to introduce us to his replacement, which is a local wahine from Big Island. With her husband is related to the Perez family here, Kaleo guys. Small world, man. Such a small world. But they were talking about the they were having some issues with the harbors here locally and getting the boat in. So Kauai last week, Izaki's they got nothing, had no produce to put out. Hey Charlie, we got one question. We got a question
Yep.
for you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's on the screen.
I make the Uncle Charlie for you missed out, Chris. Yeah. Okay. Next.
Happy belated birthday to my wife from Chris Wong. Mahalo, Chris. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Chris.
I think.
I will
No, go
say
ahead.
this. We're in the 21st century. It is what it is, right? We can't prevent people from coming into our state. That's a given. But we can manage it better, or possibly better. And then we have to look at alternative means. And right now, I think, really, in some way, has kind of outgrown itself already. That's just my opinion. And it's one of those harbors where they can't come in at night. By sunset, if the boat is not in, the boat stays offshore. And that's the rule. I really think they should start taking a look at Port Allen, because when you get a lot of your produce being grown on the west side, hauling it all the way over into Nawili, especially if you don't get it there in time, then you're going to have to store it on dock until it can get out on the next boat. And because right now for KIUC and the amount of fuel that it uses to run those generators, that's where you unload it in Port Allen. I've worked it many times, and so it's nothing impossible. But I think we just this might be a subject for debate. But I think we got to start modifying so we can keep our life here on Kauai. I, for one, don't want to move off, but if it gets so backed up to the point where you can't breathe and you can't do anything, then I think that's why people move and they take the position before it's too late. They go for it, and I commend them. Some of them have made it, some of them haven't. They've returned, but then they have to start from scratch again, right? So I think there's a lot of things we need to think about, and and then when you have a mayor that's forward-thinking, that has been pounding the drums and fighting the fight for all these years, and now has a chance to be our next mayor, I think people out there really should consider taking a hard look at you now. I think you've done everything else council-wise, and legislatively, that's where it's at. That's where it's done. So you bring all that legislative experience now to the forefront, and I think now's the time.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man.
We do not have this game. I call it a game, but this position is not. It's not for the weak-hearted, because you're gonna get crushed from all sides. You're not gonna make everybody happy, but knowing you, Mel, you'll try to make at least more than 60% happy. And I'll take that any day, because you cannot make 100% happy. Not gonna work.
Yeah. Well, I was just at the Board of Realtors had a meet and greet this afternoon. They do every quarter. They invite the council members over, and two of the realtors came up and said, "Hey, you're running for mayor. Give us your 15-second elevator pitch." And I said, I need more than 15 seconds. But listen, just to make this very clear, we don't have a money issue. We have a priority issue, and that is basically why I'm running, because I can only do so much. Even as the council chair, most of what needs to be done on this island has to come from the mayor's office, because they have the administrative authority, where the council only has the legislative authority. So, it's about, determining the priorities, setting the priorities, and working towards getting those things resolved. And that, I think, is what separates me from my opponent. And not this is not to disrespect anybody, but I think if you look at our in our county, for those of you that live on Kauai, have lived here for the last 30 years, or at least the last 20 years, you notice that we really haven't changed. The last three mayors, pretty much on the same course. And I think the problem lies, and it's what I told the two realtors, is that their focus is on the term of office. Their focus is on a 4-year or 8-year plan, where because of that mindset, and that the way that we have been running this county in these very short term thinking, is we have found ourselves behind the 8 ball now. And that is where I think I differ. I'm looking 30 years, 40 years down the road. And if that had been done 20 years ago, then we wouldn't be in the crisis with wastewater and the landfill that we are in today, because the focus was never on the long term. The focus was always on the short term. And yes, there's two tracks, right? You got the short term and long term, but I think right now, because of the position we're in, and when it comes to our critical infrastructure, the next mayor is going to have a tough job. And I think that's where the bold leadership, like you say, Charlie, someone is not afraid to make the decision. Someone is not afraid to hurt someone's feelings, because I don't want to do this because I might get upset that group of people. No, I mean, we're beyond that. These things need to be done, and it needs to be done now. And yeah, Shiloh, Plan B is always great, absolutely. And my wife, I think he would be a great mayor. Well, you know what? I think that my wife would be a fabulous first lady. That's what I say. Can you imagine? Wow. Patsy out there. Wow. Yeah, I think that would be great. Yeah, but that is, I think, we got to stop looking at the short term. And I think mayors got to accept the fact that that is not a career. That is a job that needs to be done now. And it's really going to take a whole complete rethinking, relooking at our current structure of government and making some systemic changes. And that is what I think is lacking, and I think I have over my opponent. Now again, it's tough because me and Bernard are so close, and we're like brothers. But I say this not to disrespect him. I just say he was the mayor for 10 years. I worked on the council while he was the mayor. And I think, in my opinion, we need a decision maker, a bold decision maker at this point. Collaboration is all good. Collaboration is wonderful. Satisfying the community is great. But, the reason why we have a mayor and we have a council is because decisions have to be made, and not always after consensus by the public, because some decisions have to be made that will definitely not be popular. Patsy said she would bake for every department. That sounds like a bribe. But I know,
Yep.
Everywhere I've ever worked, whether it was the county, the hotel, the prosecutor's office, Patsy would always provide my coworkers with some fabulous desserts. Raylene, thank you, Mel, for seeing the greater picture of things. That's thank you, Raylene. But that is honestly, it's just practical. It's just a no-brainer. Senator Kurt Favela is in the house. What's up, Senator? I saw him yesterday. This brother looking sharp. That guy lost some weight, man.
He lost
Bruh.
weight, yeah.
Kurt, I love Kurt because, Senator, I should say, I love Senator Favela because he's kind of like how I think every elected official should be. Is you do your homework, you accessible, you're in the community, so you have a pulse of what your community needs, and then Senator Favela is not afraid to say what needs to be said. And for that, brother, I appreciate you. I love you, man. And I appreciate your support.
What I want to say about him. Ever since meeting him on this platform
That's right.
and following him, how he thinks, yes, he is a Republican, but when it comes down, no, this is the big but now. But when it comes down to business, he doesn't let party stand in the way.
Yeah.
He will do what is right, and that's the thing I appreciate about him. There are some who that belong to a party affiliation, good, bad, or indifferent, they just keep on that track, even though it's going down a dead end. They'll keep on going down that track, and that's one thing I like about him. He's not afraid to look at his constituents who may be Republicans and say, wait, this ain't working. The Dems have a better approach, and vice versa. And that's what I will say about him. And to me, that's fair. That's fair. So that's what makes him accessible by all sides. And I think people should appreciate him. I believe they appreciate him for that.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah. Yeah, I think everybody love him. I mean, he's just a lovable guy. And no,
Yeah.
no, Senator, I do not want to come work with you at the Square Building because I'm not into that style of government, man. Charlie, you talked about Senator being a Republican, and that's why I am a true blue nonpartisan.
Independent.
Yeah, I'm a nonpartisan, so I don't belong to any party. And the reason I am a nonpartisan is because I think, and especially now, Charlie, you mentioned the world events are the way these people act today. And I'm not talking about you, Senator. I'm just saying in general, more so at the federal level. I don't see it as much at the state level. But this party politics is damaging our country, and that is why I love and I wish we would change the legislature. I wish we would change Congress and make everybody a nonpartisan because, tired of this the fighting, the infighting, and it's not like when Senator Inouye was in Congress with Senator Akaka and the Democrats and Republicans could actually communicate. They were willing to communicate, willing to talk story. Now that still happens at the state capitol. So let me I'll give them credit. That still happens at the state capitol. But I love working with the local county government because you can get things done quicker. Not that we do, but you can. Let me just get some of these comments. Sorry, guys. Joel, caring about Keiki is and should be what everybody cares about. Absolutely. I love when you guys engage, guys. It makes it so much fun. My grandpa knew Mayor Fossey, and let me tell you, he wasn't afraid to do what had to be done. It may have pissed people off. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to be a Fossey or I'm going to be a Kunimura, but I will make decisions that I believe is in the best interest of the community. Marlene, I really enjoy hearing what you have to say. Yes, Charlie started it, so I'm going to take this opportunity to. Momi says it's crazy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. And again, it's not supposed to be that way. Susan agrees with you. Amen, Mel. Yes, Senator. Yesterday I spoke to Republicans and Democrats all day. I spent my time talking with a lot of them, and I will say that every one of them is that I spoke to, that I know and I've known for a long time. They have all the right intentions. They have all the good intentions, and it's hard because the community trust on government at any level has deteriorated so much that it's very hard to do anything without people thinking that you have an ulterior motive, right, Senator? I mean, you want to do something, and it's someone will come out and say, it's because of this, or he gets special interest, blah blah blah. Where I wish people would just look at the value of what you're trying to accomplish, and work with the government, work with the elected officials, and try to make it better. So yeah, man, I still have hope. And I don't look at the party. I vote for candidates based on their stance on specific policies that are important to me, and that's how I think it should be. So rid the political party system. I wish could Bozu, but you know what? The money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Patsy will be a classy, beautiful first lady. She will make us all so proud. Oh, you're gonna make me cry, Marlene. But you're right. You're right. I'm gonna tell you something about Patsy. I don't know if she's still on or not, but that Wahine has an amazing heart for this community. And you know what? She's not out there on the photo ops, because she's so busy working. But what this lady does for our kids, what this lady does for our high school kids that are looking for scholarships and this stuff, she gets no recognition, and she doesn't want the recognition. I am excited to be the next mayor, but I am even more excited to share Patsy with this community and this island as a first lady. I think she would be wonderful. I know she would be wonderful, and I just wish you guys could could see. She doesn't like the recognition. She doesn't like it. You know, she's been at the judiciary at the state for over 40 years. And you know, when she got to 30, when she got to 35, they tell her, "Oh, you got to come to this recognition lunch," and she doesn't go. She doesn't want the recognition. And with my daughter, she just hit the 40 year. My daughter talked her into going, and I was so happy that she went because she got to freaking be recognized and thanked by the institution that she has given her life for. So I am proud of her, and I cannot wait to be able to share her with this community. Yeah, yeah. Von Ramos, it's important we all vote, not just complain, but take action. I mean, quote of the night. Quote of the night. Patsy is so sweet and humble. I hope she's still on. Oh, she has a soul of a saint. I agree. I agree. Uncle Charlie and Auntie Steph knows Patsy.
Mm-hmm.
They know her well. They know her heart, and I cannot wait to share that with the world. I mean, she deserves it more than I do. So yeah, awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Yeah, we got to work hard. You know, I that's what I tell people, man. You know, we need this opportunity. We need to be the mayor. We definitely need change, and you know, I believe I can bring that change. And we're gonna need you guys' help. No doubt about it. We're gonna need you guys' help. melformayor.org. Just go over there, check it out. My platform's up there. You can sign up to be a volunteer. This is gonna be grassroots because we obviously not gonna be able to raise the kind of money that we would require to run the right campaign. So a lot of it is going to be grassroots. A lot of it is going to be sitting in your garages or at a neighborhood center with you and your family. But however you can help, you can also make donations on that page, melformayor.org. Please, please, please.
Mm-hmm.
We got to win this, man. We got to win this. Jesse, all the way from California. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us. Makaleha 718 from YouTube. Thank you for joining us from YouTube. By the way, we are on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So, Momi says you can do it. Yes, yeah. I'm gonna work my butt off trying. I'm gonna tell you. Everyone in the county building gonna have to keep up with exercise because those desserts she makes is so ono and no can turn it down.
You know what? Some people to realize though, and I liken this to me who never used to like vegetables, and I was told one time, "You don't know what you're missing. Just try it," and I thought I was gonna die, but then when I tried it, all these years, what I missed out, right? And that's how I look at this election. You know, out there, you're asking people for a chance. Give it a chance. That's why, you know, if the person cannot do the job after the first run, because if you think Mel is not doing a good job, then you vote him out the next time, right? Simple as that. Give him a chance. But you won't know until you give him that chance. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I hope for, is that you get that chance. And you know, and you know me, Mel, I'll be your biggest critic. If I see you going sideways, I will say, ho, no, that is not what you said. I'll call you on it. But that's what made our relationship grow over all these years, is because we speak from the heart, and we know when. I mean, even, you know, there's some issues that we had before. We went to the right, we went to the left, but we're able to get consensus on it. But we have to recognize that, you know, if there's a mistake, let's correct the mistake.
Yep.
If there's a direction we have to go, hey, you got me convinced, I'm with you, let's go. But at the same token, if I see one hit a pretty big wall and we're gonna get injured on this, I'm gonna tell you, let's abort this plan and try something else.
Yeah.
Because if we as people, we care for each other. We won't let anybody go down one path um, to fail. We want everybody to succeed, and that even means that who doesn't make it into office and they're gonna try again, we want them to try to succeed,
Yeah.
because that's the way we gotta be. That's how you build your community. So and I hate to sound this way, but that's what you put in your arsenal. You have all that backup. Should something happen, at least you got the backup. You don't want to go into battle and you only got just so many rounds, because you're gonna lose the fight. You got to get the backup, hoping that everybody can see what's gonna happen. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, Sam, majority of the 32% that actually vote determine the things. It is sad, and that's why we, I tell my campaign team, we get running 2 campaigns. One is to get people out to vote. If they're not registered, get them registered, and they got to vote. I mean, that's you're right, 100%.
Yep.
I'm gonna catch on some of the comments. I'm proud of my daughter-in-law Patsy. She's always backing up my son Mel. My wife is the rock. She, Charlie. I know you will not hesitate to tell me if I'm heading down the wrong path, or if to maybe relook something. But that happens typically initially by Patsy, and she's very, very. She works in a courthouse. She sees a lot of ugly every day. She sees the struggles of our community every day. She's the clerk of the chief judge on Kauai, and she sees it all. We discuss it a lot. But thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you, man. You do not have the soul of a saint. That's why you'll be a fantastic mayor, but still a good guy, tough and intelligent. I'll take that as a compliment, Marlene. Thank you. How much people go and run for Mayor Clayton? I don't know. Right now it's me and Bernard. I don't know. And we won't know until June, which is the filing deadline. I would say that it's probably going to end up being me and Bernard, but you never know in politics. You just never know. Tyson says, oh boy, my former boss Rhonda made an appearance. It was great. Yeah, we got Rhonda and Tyson in the house tonight, man. When you're a man of your word and actions, the people will know. I try my best. Right, Uncle Charlie. Yes. Let's see. Bill, good stuff, Mel. Best wishes. Thank you, Bill. And I am looking forward to having lunch with you and Uncle Charlie, man, when you get over here in a month. Terry Workman says, we need change. We're not rehashing the past. We need someone who wants to get the job done and make the island a better place. So tired of the same old Mel. Thank you, Terry. Terry is my she's my the person that stands guard at the castle, just watching out for anything. She does that. She scans the social media, and then she responds when somebody puts erroneous comments in there. And thank you, I appreciate and love you, Terry.
I will tell you this, Mel. As you know, for me, I wouldn't get involved in anything if it wasn't for my wife. And I just like to say that she's probably one of your biggest conciliaries out there.
Yeah.
If you know what.
Yeah, no, I know.
Because she sees, it's just through 45 plus years in the hotel industry, working among some of the biggest names. She and Steve Wynn are very close. And that's, she told me, hey, we got an opportunity to go Vegas, go work. Steve wants me up there. And I said, I don't think I can make it up there. And when will you have time for the family? And I'm glad, we hunkered down on Kauai. We saw our grandchildren grow up. I got my grandson going to college pretty soon. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is when you got somebody with that sense that's been around during the days of Andy Anderson, during the days of Cease Heftel, during the days of Frank Fosse, right? During the days of Dan Akaka going into bowling alleys with him, during the days of Inoue. When you got somebody like that, and that's why I let my wife do what she does, because she's good at it. And when I see individuals tap in on her to, kind of like pick her brain, hey, what do you think about this? I'm honored. And I know that I could never compare to that because I have my own set of skills, and yet she has her own set of skills that's really, especially when you come around election time or getting elected, she can really look out. And I am so happy that when you made the decision to run, she was like no hesitations, because like you said, we're all close, both sides. We're close, but the first go round, we stood with you. The second go round, we're standing with you. And so that's why I'm really glad when she said, honey, he said no. And this time, I think he's got a right direction that he wants to go and a right path that we're going to make it happen for him.
No, I appreciate
Yeah.
you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. Hey, mahalo kaimana. Mahalo for joining in.
Yeah.
Better late than never, bro. Better late than never.
Good, brother.
Clayton, who's number 3? He asked how many people running, and I said I didn't know, and he responded with a 3. Who's number 3? I want to know. The people want to know. Patty, thank you. I know. You got just whoever you know in Kauai. Give them a call. Let them know.
Patty, let me tell you one good exercise we went through.
Thank you, Marlene.
Before me Kimo Alameda, once he decided to run, we gave so much support because we have so much family on the Big Island, and it does make a difference. You may not be here physically, but you have a strong connection to Kauai. You can make a difference. So don't say that just because you can't vote here. No. Your name carries a lot of weight, and people know who you are, people know your family. Get all the support ready.
Makaleha, yes, we are going to be on KKCR on Monday from 3:30 to 6. So tune in. I'll put together. I gotta get some more information to make sure I get the right information. We'll post it up, and I'm looking forward to that. I really am.
Have you ever been to that radio station?
Yes, I have.
So one night, me, John, and Dane, when we still had Vailoa, the trio originals, went up there to go play music.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went up there, I never know I was going through the Bugaleles.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're going to come back alive or what? It's like one of those areas.
Yeah. It's kind of
But
creepy.
it's a real, it's like the antenna that can send signals all over this island. It's like a clothes hanger that go to the tallest pine tree outside the radio station. That kind set up. I was impressed.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. It's just that it's such a far drive. So whenever I'm on the radio, I typically just call in. But this one, they wanted us both in the studio, which is going to be better. So the ambiance will be perfect. And
Can I give you a present before you go?
Sure.
Give you a present. I'm going to give you your own box of mosquito punks when you go.
Yes, I know you've been there, Charlie. I know you've been there, man. Senator, thank you again, bro. I know you get ohana here on the west side. I know you got a big ohana out here. I appreciate you, man. We need to get you over here so you can host a meet and greet for me. Let's see. I'm just going real quick. Yeah, I know we're running out of time, but I just wanted to share a couple of things. Number one, the county did certificates and proclamations to all the rescuers of, remember Chance Swanson? He was a lifeguard that got attacked by a shark at Pine Trees in November. Local boy here on Kauai. And he should have died in that attack. He should have. And I got to see him today. He showed me all the pictures that the surgeons took of the injuries. He should have bled to death in that ocean. He was surfing alone. It wasn't working, and the shark got his leg, and it's a big. You can see the size of the jaw. Anyway, it was the guy. Is alive today because of the reactions from those lifeguards. I believe there was an off-duty lifeguard, and they went out there. And imagine this now. You got a guy in the water who just got attacked. There's blood everywhere. There's a hungry shark there, and these guys jumped in the water to go jump in there and stabilize him, put the tourniquet while he was in the water, get him back on the board, on the jet ski, get him in. Long story short, we recognize all of the first responders today. But I will tell you that this guy, Chance Swanson, young boy, was so inspirational today, thanking everybody. And the first person he thanked was Jesus Christ, his Lord and Savior, because I talked to him alone and I said, bro, what did you think you were going to die? And he said, yes, I did. So I just said my prayers. I made my peace with God, and I thought I was going to. He said, I surrendered to the shark because I didn't want to trash. I didn't want to, I didn't even see the shark. I knew what it was. And it just, we talk about we live on this island on Kauai, and, we're behind everybody else. But, those emergency first responders that responded, and, the fire chief went up there, the AMR supervisors. It's the training that led up to this that saved that guy's life, and he will forever be grateful. And I told him, the mayor called me up to say a few words, and I just told him, I don't know what God's plan is, but God has a plan for you, and I'm excited to find out what this path is where this path is gonna take you. So yes, Chance Swanson, amazing man. Still in recovery. It's going to take a long time before all of that stuff heals. He's going to therapy and skin grafts and all of that stuff. But I just wanted to say a shout out to all of the emergency rescue people, as well as our KPD dispatchers who do this every day of their lives. And it's an amazing moment. Awesome. And I want to get Chance on our show. I didn't want to ask him today because it was kind of overwhelming for him, and but I definitely want to get him on our show because his message about faith and just the will to live is incredible, and I think it would be awesome. Let's see, Shiloh, thank you both for going live, and I look forward to hearing everything you guys talk about. And Chance lives few houses down from me. Shiloh, the guy, just a good person. It's incredible. I'm blessed to have the opportunity to have met him today. Yeah, if you see him, man, give him a hug, bro. The guy is just such an inspiration. Jimmy Trujillo, he's a DJ or whatever you call him, producer, creator says they're gonna be live streamed on Hoike. Live streamed on Hoike from KKCR's Jungle Shack studio. Oh, so it's gonna be on Hoike.
Yeah, Hoike.
Oh, nice. Oh, I gotta dress up then. I'm gonna have to wear nice clothes. I thought I was just gonna be on the radio. Oh darn. I was just gonna wear shorts and my t-shirt, my coconut wireless t-shirt. You see him? But okay, I'll wear an aloha shirt. That's right, Charlie. Nice shirt. And I just I wanna say this, Charlie, and I'll say this and then I'll let you close it out. But when we went to Costco, and this is for everyone that basically lives on Kauai, but Patsy and I went to Costco on Sunday, like I said, the first time in well over a year, and came across this lady who was working there as one of those sampler people, and she said, "Why are you running against Bernard? Why?" I was like, what do you mean why? Because I love the both of you, but I gotta support him. He's like family. I said, well, I think the question you got to ask Bernard is, why are you running against Mel? You had 10 years. Mel never did have a chance. But I think, that's the second person that told me that, like, why I running against Bernard. And I'm not running against Bernard. I want you guys to understand one thing. I want to make this very clear. I'm not running against Bernard. I'm running or applying to be the next mayor. And so is Bernard. And, Bernard and I are good friends. It's going to be like I told Bernard, it's like a football game, bro. Whoever work hard, whoever prep hard, whoever performs well will win. And at the end of the game, we shake hands and we move on. We stay friends because this is not worth losing a friendship over. But I don't want people to think that I'm trying to like I'm trying to take Bernard's job. He's not the mayor. He wants to be the mayor. I want to be the mayor. So the question really is, why? It's not why I want to run against him. I don't. I believe I have the qualification, the experience, the knowledge at the most critical time in this island's history, and it's different from Bernard's. And I'm going to let the people choose what leadership style they want. I'm not running against Bernard. I'm asking you to support me to be your mayor because I believe I can do a better job. So I just wanted to get that off my chest, Charlie, because that was bugging me. Like, this lady's like, I love this lady too. I've known her forever. And it's like yelling at me why I'm running against Bernard. I'm not. I need to convince you all that I'm the best choice. I really don't care who runs for mayor. I'm applying to be your next mayor. And I humbly ask for your support. mailformayor.org. Please go there tonight, sign up the volunteer sheet, and we will be in touch with you. Appreciate all you guys. I love you guys so much. And I love this island. Charles,
Yes.
any closing thoughts?
Well, as always, I'd like to say thank you to the many viewers out there who joined us tonight. You know, a lot of times when in the upper, if you're looking at your screen, on the upper left corner, you'll see a number tag that's telling you how many people are on. The numbers, they mean something, but yet we know that when this broadcast is done, it'll multiply 100 times over. We'll get, by tomorrow, there's 700 views on this. I just like to say, you know, we are living in troubled times, but we all have to admit that we all cannot agree on the same thing. I've got very close friends that have taken up positions against me, and they have every right to do so, especially on Facebook, especially on responding on my platform. And you said what you said, and I can appreciate that, even though some view it as being ugly, but that's what makes you tick. And I give all of you that chance. But I want you to understand this. Uncle Charlie doesn't want to see anybody get hurt. Uncle Charlie doesn't want to see anybody left alone and by themselves because of something like this. On this local level, we have a chance to make things better for us, I believe. And we have to start somewhere. And that somewhere is going to be with Mel. I'll be in his corner every step of the way. But I would like all of you to know that if it's not for you getting out there, then we'll never know what tomorrow brings. But you can make a difference. And I hope you take that chance and go on that magical ride that I think we'll be on for the better, for our community. Because Kauai is so special, especially someone like me who was not born or from this island, but who gave the last 20 plus years of my life to call Kauai my home. And that's where I'm going to stay. I'm not going to move anywhere else, my wife and I. So I'd like to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for joining us tonight. And please, whatever you do going into this weekend, have a safe weekend.
Right on, Uncle Charlie. I know I said you was going to close it up, but I did want to share just a couple of the comments because I think it's important. Marlene, that is the awesomeness of our God. He has a plan for everyone, and this goes back to chance. I just wanted to restate that. Jimmy Trujillo, mahalo to Max Richardson and PAL Hawaii, which is Permanent Affordable Living Hawaii, a nonprofit that is making it possible for the KKCR Huike stream. So thank you, Jimmy, for that. Let's see. I did want to recognize Enid Keavalao Rivers, all the way from Maili, Oahu. Awesome. I just want to thank you guys. Relene, you are running for mayor to better things for Kauai. Yeah, that's it, man. There's no other reason. Tammy, I appreciate your support. By the way, Tammy will be running for county council, I believe. If she does make that announcement, I would highly recommend you guys support her. Kaimana, mahalo. Jimmy again, mahalo Mel and Uncle Charlie for another great show. No, you guys make the show, not us. You guys make the show, and when you guys engage, the show gets better. I'm telling you. Enid I hope I'm saying that right. Praying for amazing leaders like both of you on on Oahu. Thank you, Momi. Thank you. Let's go for it. I need all your help. You can. The easy way is share this video. Just hit the share button, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn. Just share it. Shiloh says that's a fair statement, Uncle Charlie. Well said. I agree.
Thank you, Shiloh.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Uncle Charlie and Mel. God bless you both and your families, and also the village. Let us not forget the village. For those of you that don't know, this village was created during the pandemic, and this village will continue to go. And like Charlie said, right now we have 27 live viewers. It went up to 40 plus, but by the end of tonight, Charlie, you kind of understated it. By tonight, we'll have about 1,200 views. A lot of people don't come on during the live because they don't want Uncle Charlie to call them out. So they come on after. And this will be the last comment of the night, really. And you couldn't have said it better. The village is here to stay. So with that, folks, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. God bless you all. And we will see you next week. Aloha. Oh, Monday. Don't forget Monday. 3:30 KKCR. Aloha.